Hey, just Jeff here with River's Edge Homestead. Today we're going to put up some garlic using vinegar, and it will be stored in the refrigerator. It'll last up to probably a year, year and a half. We've got some that it's a year and a half and it's still great. So come along and we'll show you the process. Okay, today what we're going to do is we're going to take some garlic and we're going to put it into a long-term storage. Essentially, what I mean long-term, I mean 1 to 2 years. It'll stay in the refrigerator. We're going to use distilled vinegar, white vinegar, typical canning supplies. Today we're going to use half pints. I got the regular size lids. I got the garlic that needs to be peeled. This is extra garlic that we didn't use for our planting for this next spring. And so we're going to preserve it. There are a few ways you can preserve it. This is one of our favorites because essentially what you do is you take it out of the refrigerator, you take out your cloves, you rinse them off with just cold water and use them just like you would fresh garlic. It works great. The ones that we did last year, or excuse me, this is a 9 of 22, we did these in pints. And it was just a little bit big, but you can kind of see what it looks like. They really hold their color. Of course, they hold their flavor, and they work awesome. It's a great way to use it. And so we're going to show you today how I preserve garlic for the long term. Okay, first thing we're going to do is we're going to take these, and all we're doing is just determining whatever is the easiest way for you to peel the garlic. Okay, kind of sticky. Take a knife. And when you're done, just take a knife and you can peel that off like so. Typically I'll have a waste container that I can recycle or actually compost this stuff. Right now I'm just putting it on the counter to show you kind of what it looks like. Once you're done with that, they'll look like this. And these are completely done and these are ready to be put in jars. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get some of this vinegar going. Okay. I'm going to get that boiling so that I can fill up the jars. Now before we get started, you want to use standard canning practices. You want to make sure that your jars are checked to make sure there's no chips or cracks. You want to make sure that they're clean. I always try and run them through the dishwasher, get them heated up, and it's going to be just like your water bath canning. If you're familiar with that, the concept's the same with the exception of you don't can it or you don't put it in the water bath canner. Once you put the hot liquid in the jar with the garlic, then you seal it up. You heat up your lids just like you normally would, and then once they cool down, it will give it a semi-seal, and you will put it, once it cools down, put it in the fridge. These are designed to stay in the fridge the whole time, even after you open them. So if you make a whole bunch, you are going to need to have some sort of some refrigerator space to keep them. We have an extra refrigerator, so that's not an issue for us. But keep in mind that as you do this, you're going to need to have space in your refrigerator. There's no minimum to do it. You can do it a jar at a time if you choose, or you can do it 10 jars at a time. It doesn't matter. So just kind of keep that in mind. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take these, and all I'm doing is I'm just filling these up as tight as I can. that as much space as you can gets filled. There's not necessarily any reason to make sure there's any headspace, because you're not going to be boiling this. You're just putting in the hot liquid. So essentially what it looks like, this is going to look like that. Okay, we've got everything set up, ready to go. I ended up with 9 jars on this batch. I've got my vinegar boiling, coming to a boil. I've got my lids heating up. Again, it's just like you're going to be water bath canning, warm lids. We'll screw them down rather than putting them into a water bath canner though. You're just letting the hot liquid go into there and do a soft, what I call a soft seal. It just kind of seals it real easy. But again, this stuff has to be refrigerated 24/7. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to come in here, and what I want to do okay. And this is kind of ironic because you wipe down your rims. I always use vinegar, and that's what we're using. And so we'll go in here, we've got a lid, stick it on, and then screw it down. And that's how we do it. So what we'll do is we'll come back when I have everything all done, and I'll show you what the final product looks like. Okay, what we ended up with is 9 jars. This is what they look like. They're a little bit warm. I've let them cool a little bit. The only thing I'll have left to do is to put the date on them. That was today's date. And then put them in the fridge when they cool down to room temperature. Thank you for watching, and hit the like and subscribe button if you would wish, and we will see you next time. Thanks for watching.